It's the last map of the day. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? Will it be SK Gaming? Will it be CLG in that final on Friday or TBS? You can see that's what they're playing for. It's a hell of a prize. You get to play Astralis. Enjoy that one. But that's going to be Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern on TBS. It's the big one. We're looking forward to it. We're sure you're going to join us and enjoy it as well. But a long way to go for both of these teams. Overpass coming up. We talked about this going in. CLG have beaten SK Gaming on Overpass in the past, but that was with a full-strength team. Now they've got to stand in, and we know SK Gaming can also play this map.
Well, they beat them on Tuesday on this map as well.
Yeah.
16-14, I believe it was. And then I think the other one was 16-12, so neither of them have been very strong or convincing wins.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was with that amazing comeback.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If it was like a complete domination, I would say, well, you know, CLG probably has this one in the bed, but the fact that it was so close and they left it in, when they could have had Mirage, for instance, instead. Yeah. So it's kind of a risk, but at the same time, this one for me is a complete coin flip for this final map now, because both teams were strong and then both teams were weak at some point. So it just depends on who can stick it together.
This is going to be another map though, where I should mention Freeze as an AWPer on the T side. It's not a great map for an AWPer of his style. You have to be aggressive. You have to be able to take angles. You have to be able to have a teammate pop flash for you and try and take a duel. So I mean, if he didn't like doing it on Cobble and he struggled with it, he's going to need to do it again here. He's going to need to at least just suck it up and see what happens.
Meanwhile, when you see JDM and he's looking so dynamic, this is one of the things.
This is a strong map for him as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that kind of style where he can move around the map. He seems very mobile. He can get into those awkward positions with an AWP, do some damage, and then get out if he needs to. You know, we've seen players fail at doing that here today. So this, I know, I kind of get where you're coming from. I still just might give this slightly to SK, in my mind.
I'm going to agree with you just because I think they're going to bounce back stronger. I know you guys are worried about the whole Freeze tilting thing, but I think they know what they're getting into. I think they feel confident that they could take this team out. And I also think it might come down to like who starts on CT side and gets a stronger lead.
Yeah, I think the pistol round is going to take a major part in this. It'll certainly make it a lot more significant.
Exactly.
I actually think, we talked about Freeze and Magic's part. I think the key for SK to win this is going to be Pimp. I think they need to have another rifle be up there, because I really don't think Freeze is going to be that strong on the T side. They're going to need another rifler who's willing to be aggressive with Magic's Boy and follow up on him.
He was actually really good for them on the first day they played this map.
Yep.
So if he could replicate that to a certain extent, they could have this.
Yeah, I mean, so just sort of final thoughts. We're getting closer and closer to doing our map fly-through. We're about ready to go. Knife round's just been wrapped up.
Who got what side?
I haven't
Change your prediction,
you probably does,
back it out.
But let's just come back to predictions and how we see this one going. I know which way Moses is going to go.
We can't flip-flop at this point. I'm just going to stick it all the way.
Let me have my moment. I'm going for CLG.
100%?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not going to say 100% win, but 100% I'm going with CLG.
Okay, well, guys, let's do our map
quantify that.
I'm about 90% with
shady
SK.
Let's do our map fly-through and see if Moses is right. Has he got a prediction? Take it away, James and DDK.
Alrighty then. One team is going to make it to TV tomorrow. One team is going to be left with cheese, grits, and chill. Who will take what? We will find out. CLG won a knife, and they will start on the CT side. We are 12 seconds away from beginning the madness. And again, this is one round where I feel like I'm saying it every single pistol round, but this particular map, we've seen lots of savage aggression from CTs pushing. We see it from NIP as well, moving into connector. What will be the play from CLG here? We have two people moving pretty deep towards toilets, through toilets here from the CLG side, and indeed, it will be rabid aggression, non-stop aggression, W the only button on their keyboard there.
Yeah, and SK, they are reacting to that. They're holding their positions now. They're like, okay, wait, let's see what's going on here. We hear a lot of stepping around. We see that there is some aggression. And there it is. Tarek gets spotted long range, but you don't want to take that fight against the USP. And Tarek will indeed claim a kill out of that engagement. And in the chaos, Pitta gets one as well. Super long range, so really showing you the advantage of those USPs over the Glocks, which you really need to close the distance with the Glocks. That's where they're scary, overwhelming your opponents. And the other factor as well is that if you are jumping against somebody with a USP, USP has terrible armor penetration, so it's very hard unless you get a headshot to kill someone full stop with it. So it's going to be down to SK with 3 members now, although one of them, as we can see, Freeze, he's got a Molotov and a smoke grenade. They're going to have to find a way to use that to their, well, to a good effect to allow them to get the bomb planted at the very least.
It's going to be hard. Freeze moving towards long, but again, they don't have the range to take these kind of duels here. It is very unfavorable, and that's the perfect example. Tarek finding the frag there. Pimp is the last man standing, and we may see, Dan, that Pimpin' ain't easy.
It ain't easy. It's a tough road to walk, but there's always time for redemption, James. Now, CLG get the good start on the CT side, which is going to be definitely a huge relief, because this map can be very, very annoying again. If you, it's I guess, kind of like, to be honest, the last two maps can be really, really annoying as well. If you just start off with a poor CT economy, it can get really strange, because you want to have those orbs very fast to play aggressively with, and especially with a team like a team that has JDM, you get so much value out of him when you get the orb straight away. So that's going to go well into the favor of CLG, but SK, they've gone for the force buy as expected. And CLG, they should realize this. They should play against this. They want to keep it to the long ranges. They want to force these pistoling players to run into their grenades. And that might be what happens here, because we've got a bunch of CLG players towards this A site.
Indeed, but we also have a P90. We have the gun of glory, the gun of truth and wonder, Dan. The gun of gold, bronze and silver. In any order you like. But will JDM be able to make these fatal connections? I'm also glad it's on a Bison, Dan. It is much more violent, potentially, but no, he will disappoint me. That is horrible. SK, can they get hold of that P90? They could really get a nice entry onto a site or something, or maybe even win a round if they can hold on to such a powerful gun. Hayes with an MP7 will be teased. So SK know that the flank has come in from the CT side. What will their decision be? They've abandoned the P90 for now. If they choose to push A, then it can be picked up. Pimp over towards Long for the time being. Bomb's going to join him. Tarek focusing over towards the toilet area, sees Pimp in isolation, and now the bomb is in a precarious place. Sicilian only has 20 HP here, so big risk to be taken here. It is Sicilian with an MP9 versus Tarek with less than 50 HP, the M4 moving back now as they continue to close the gap, but Modi's going to come in, take Cutler down, and now Tarek has to wait for his teammate to rotate. Hayes coming in from the back with the MP7. Can the bomb get planted here? 20 seconds, they need to do it fast. They may not realize Hayes is in the rear. They see it now, but it's too late. Modi goes down, the round will go with CLG.
Lots of damage done there, though. 3 kills, which is, I mean, I think SK Gaming are going to feel actually quite happy with that. I mean, they did the force buy, but that is decent. That's going to definitely affect the economy of CLG going forwards, and I'm sure it must have been a counterfeit P90, James, because there were no frags.
I know, but it's not a sniper rifle, Dan. So we couldn't have expected JDM to get a frag anyway. I'm sure he felt extremely uncomfortable. But he's going to go back to the P90, in fact. He's not done just yet. He wants to prove us wrong, Dan. He wants to prove us incorrect. He wants to prove us as frauds. But will he be able to do so? We have T's moving over towards the B site. They've got no map control, Dan. There's a flank. There's a push coming in. We've got almost the entire CLG Mandem here over towards the B bomb site. Hayes with the range, going to get himself 3 headshots there. Only 2 remain. Peter coming in with the MP9, and we may not see the P90 get a single kill just yet.
So there it is, CLG, they managed to win the first 3 rounds. They get that pistol round, they survive the force buy and the eco. But now it's time to survive the AKs, because the AKs are coming. And you see here...
The cleansing.
Oh yeah, okay, that's...
People were cleansed, Dan.
All right, that's one way to put it. Now, AWP onto JDM, that's what we want to see. And definitely a healthy bank left as well, because they were able to survive with lots of players in the previous round, which is good. And SK, I mean, they've got lots of nades to work with. What will they choose to do? It's definitely going to be harder to try to clear out the A side of the map with a limited amount of grenades. So I would expect them to decide to go for more of a set piece towards the B bomb side. That's usually what you would expect, I think, in a situation like this. But let's see what their interpretation is, because they must know that JDM is rocking A long here with this AWP. It's a very forward position, and look at this spotting going on, and JDM connects the shot, gets Freeze, picks him out of the sky, and Tarek moves into the water fountain, picks up a frag, does get traded in the end, but it's going to still be a 2-for-1 special for CLG, and they're taking that every day of the week. And Hayes is in a great position, gets flashed, and it's Pimp, though, who's able to take the frag. Does incur quite a bit of damage in the process, however. The 3 versus 3 is looking decent for them, especially considering that JDM missed that shot and gave away his position. The elements of surprise is now gone from JDM.
Time is still on the side of the SK team for the time being, but things are getting a bit weird now. Modi's on the wrong end of connector with the bomb, worried about flanks coming in. Potentially, SK could use that to move towards the A site. Magic's Boy now coming up to connector where JDM once was. JDM's moves all the way back to the site. CLG using the clock. Obviously, SK will need to use time to clear out these areas. Peter now on short B, but Pimp's coming in through the tunnel, so we might see an engagement there, and it will go in favor of the CTs. JDM are going to have a jumping spot there to spot the Ts coming onto his site. Flash is coming in, he'll go for a peek. but the timing is wrong. The bomb should go down with 15 seconds on the clock here. Modi is susceptible to being taken down from the back though, but both the CTs coming in from the front. Match's probably going to have to jump on Cutler, and CLG could be finding their first round loss here, and indeed they will be. SK making their way onto the scoreboard. That said, CLG didn't go for the super full buy in that round. We still had the MP9 in play, still had the P90 in play, and they will still have money to buy up on this round.
Absolutely, and that's really important, especially considering that they killed 3 players in that previous round. That means that SK will still be a little bit sore from that, so they're looking to recover by having a nice clean one this round and not really losing more than 1 or 2 players themselves and forcing CLG to an eco, which is the spot where SK Gaming really start to take some momentum. So CLG must try to avoid that situation. We've got, as you said, JDM able to get that AWP in hand, and he's going to go and mix it up. He's moving into Suez here, trying to stay dynamic, trying to stay unpredictable.
We've seen it before. The H, he's going to come in to open the door for JDM, and he should get a kill. He's going to get 2. Pimp takes it straight in the face stand. And the bomb as well has been revealed. That is a very awkward situation for SK to deal with.
What a sick play coming out from JDM, and also Cutler with the supporting grenade. Beautiful stuff. 3 players versus 5. Now SK Gaming need to make a plan on the fly, and it's really difficult as well because one of the 3 is an AWPer, and it's very hard to make fast dynamic plays if you've got a guy with the big green gun. Freeze though, looking to try to open things up, but I think he was spotted, and there are some nades here to deny him. There's a quick flash to get the information for Tarek, but Tarek won't see anything. There's a deep angle there from Freeze, and JDM's got some sneaky angles of his own there. Looking in towards the connected position. Actually looks like Freeze takes down Tarek there towards the A bomb site. So now SK Gaming, that's all the information that they need. With a 3 versus 4 situation, they are going to be happy with that. With 40 seconds to go, it is time to hit that A bomb site. But Cutler is in position. Can they deal with the man himself?
This is a pretty nasty spot. SK going to have to run, but they've been flashed already, maybe by themselves. Losing the duel will Cutler be. 25 seconds left. 3 versus 3 now. Peter, he is in the smoke here. He may try to push once he hears the plant coming in. Will he be able to do anything? He's got a UMP, but no, Freeze has his teammates back. The bomb's getting planted now. JDM and Hayes are trying clutch this for their team. Smokes all over the place. JDM missing another shot. He missed one in the previous round, misses one now, and that's crucial. That gives away one of the 2 players, and now Hayes has nobody to help him. Modi on the spot. Is he willing to go for the defuse here? Asilian's going to trade, and they know where JDM is. Asilian with a crazy peek. He gives away the 1 versus 1, and there's still time on the clock here. The smoke goes down, and JDM can go for the hero defuse, but there is a bit of a crack. Freeze somehow jumps out of the way of the crosshair, and that is a jump that allows SK to win the round. And now JDM needs to scramble, try to save the AWP, and he is at least going to do that. But that was really close for SK. They almost threw the round there, giving the 1v1 for no reason.
Yeah, but JDM knows that he should have clutched that. He had 2 opportunities. That first kill, obviously this is an amazing play.
That's some Siegfried and Roy stuff, before the mauling, of course.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, JDM misses that first flick shot, but then it's the next one when we saw the jumping from Freeze. I think we could see a bit of hesitation. It wasn't like an instant snap, which I think normally you would see out of JDM. So
he had to try and what? You mean on to Freeze at the end?
Yeah, right at the end, last one.
Because of the jumping, he has to be sure. But Freeze had a last-minute bit of parkour, which I think may have done the trick there.
Oh, that is nasty.
Again, we've mentioned this before many times. Around that smoke, the CTs can get up to all kinds of shenanigans. SK having a nice read will do big damage with a grenade, but Modi's made his way into the bomb site, traded, but that's an early advantage here. CLG with not much in the bag either, but Cutler's coming in with 2 frags here. He's doing big things for his team. Here's another player on site, and Hayes is there as well. Cutler goes down, but Hayes will trade. This is a good situation for CLG so far. We'll see if they can pick up the guns later on, but Pimp and Freeze have come in now to try and clear out the remaining CTs. Tarek with the 1 big Freeze, just far too slow, and the reactions there. Pimp does what he can, but CLG back to winning ways.
That Deagle shot, man. Well, just Deagle long range versus AWP. Why not? Tarek showing that he's still got the goods, and that was a very important frag, actually. If Tarek actually misses that engagement, I think that shot is going to be hitting him every time. That looked dead on from the AWPer, but Tarek was slightly faster, and then that allowed them to win the round. So 4-2, CLG coming back into this one, but they're not out of the tunnel just yet because SK Gaming have Tech 9s, they've got Kevlars, and they've got smoke grenades. So they are going to be looking to make a pretty fast play into a bomb site, and this could get quite chaotic here.
3 players in the connector, clearing areas out. And we saw in the previous map of Overpass today, loads of people going for peeks there, device and so on, and getting Rex alone with the AWP, not hitting the shots. Speaking of which, we see that from JDM, but all the way from the sites.
And this is a problem.
That's
JDM.
a bad miss.
That is a bad miss. And we'll have to see if they can recover from that miss, because being down a man in a situation like this, especially down a JDM, is going to be quite annoying. He was definitely the player to pick off these SK Gaming members as they try to close the distance, but the distance now will be closed, and there will be no losses when it comes to the numbers until they get close, and that's a problem. That's a really big problem. Here comes SK Gaming. In go the smokes. Tarek still with an opening there. Cutler as well to shoot that AK, but these Tech9 players are going to be streaming in, and the spray's not good there for Tarek. It's going to be down to Cutler here close, and his teammate Hayes is going to go down, and what can Cutler do from this position? Peter is now coming in with that MP9, but this is a very firmly held onto site by SK as Cutler tries to coordinate with Peter. Cutler gets the entry onto Magic's boy. In goes Peter. And Modi is going to eliminate Cutler as well as the Cillian onto Peter. So that is going to be that. And the Tech9s, James, they will do the damage.
Yeah, it seems CLG had a great difficulty dealing with these smokes on the site. And they're really weird smokes as well. They left half the site open, but it seemed to work out for them, streaming all over the place. And you have to wonder if CLG would have been better off playing for the retake, which again would have been difficult either way. Not sure that there was any good decision for them there once those smokes had landed and SK had closed the distance. So now SK keeping the score close between these two teams, and it's CLG's turn to go for a buy with the pistols and Kevlar and no primary weapons. This is a bit of a force buy for the team. Starting off aggressive, the CTs will start to move back. It can be a problem for T sides when the CT stack sites. You don't see it so often anymore. When Overpass first came out, it used to be quite strong, but teams with good use of Molotovs can cause problems. There are only 2 Molotovs, though, on the T side for the time being, so if CLG choose to stay closer to the sites, then it may be difficult for SK Gaming.
And you can see that SK are taking their time here. They don't want to put any foot wrong. Don't want to lose any players in an untoward manner. So there goes the flash over the top there for Pim to peek with. You can see flames are set down as well onto the tree position, which can be quite annoying. But that is, again, SK, dotting all their I's, crossing all their T's, making sure that everything is checked. Thorough, disciplined, focused, and they should be fine. Spotting a player there, Freeze unable to shoot him down though, as SK get closer and closer and CLG begin to feel their presence. And JDM is quite close to the toilet's position, so JDM might be the first point of contact here. And indeed he will be. He gets the Deagle frag onto Modi. That's a big kill coming out from JDM, and it's not with a sniper rifle.
Dan, look at the time.
They need to speed things up here now as they start to go in for the challenges. They know JDM's there, but JDM gets a great engagement again. 2 Deagle frags from him. Has he done enough here? Cutler's on the side. If they can just waste more time, that'd be perfect, but Freeze gets the refrag. In goes Hazed. Able to take down Freeze, and it was all honestly 5 HP, 10 seconds. This is looking like CLG have managed to do it. Peter claims the kill. Wow, JDM with those 2 Deagle frags. That really puts SK off balance.
They waited for so long with no map control. They have no choice but to rush into the waiting hands of SK, and indeed, JDM with a rare 2 Deags, causing big problems for SK. SK unable to answer, but indeed they run the clock down without having like significant map control. I wouldn't even say forcing the CTs back. They chose to play deep into the sites. SK maybe expecting frags to come in earlier, didn't seem to know what to do once frags didn't come in, and indeed they've given CLG another lifeline. They take the lead, and again we're just seeing force buys after force buy after force buy on both teams because they can't seem to win with good guns.
It's a bit chaotic, isn't it? So Anarchy, right? And we'll have to see if the chaos will will continue. I mean, we have the Tech9s and the Deagles on SK Gaming. Are they favored to win this one, James?
One would have to imagine so, Dan. The way the previous rounds have indeed been going. We've seen 3 rounds traded now. Will it be a 4th? Minute 12 for SK to move forward. JDM in a similar position, but now he's got an M4. And we know how unpopular rifles are with him. Hazed on the MP7. As you can see, with this position that JDM has, he will see the players' shadows before the players will see any of JDM. So he will have a slight advantage there, but he needs to avoid being traded or shot at close range there. And that is the problem with that position, and nobody's there to do anything about it as well. JDM goes down for free, gives the players a rifle as well. No trade coming in, but bomb goes down over towards B bomb site. 3 versus 3, 33 seconds on the clock now. Bomb goes down again. Modi can't do anything about it. Remaining SK players rotating, as are the CTs, but it's the CTs with the real estate now. They've got control of the bomb and the bomb site. You see Freeze charging in. Only the Tech 9, I say only, but headshots can be had, but a headshot will be had by Cutler, traded by Pimp. 15 seconds to find 2 players, down to 8 HP. No bullets in the M4 anymore. He's only got 1 play to find and 10 seconds to do it with. Can't do it. Hayes manages to just about hold on for his team with a 3K.
So the story continues here with CLG managing with, I mean, it's definitely a struggle, but they are getting rounds right now. SK sent it back to a situation where they don't have a buy, so they are going to be having to get maybe a couple pistols here. Are they going to force it up? Looks like, well, of course, James, why not? Looks like they're going to force it up, and once again, Tech 9s will be in play, and they're going to have Kevlar to go with it and grenades. So again, you know, CLG going to have to withstand this test, and it's so funny how both teams have been low economy for the last like 5 or 6 rounds, because upon losing a round, they both just decide to buy up without either team really gaining any market improvement on their economy. And it's the P90 on the stairs connected position for CLG that will lock it down.
SK going for the force buy there because only 1 player survived for CLG, so their money is not in the right place at all. And again, we've got the close quarters engagements. M4 and MP9 coming in to put in work. Only Pimp now left alone, and he doesn't have the bomb. JDM may go to make more money. Cutler coming in for the flank. Will he be prepared? Indeed, he will be. So now we should see SK going for a save. Otherwise, this half could start to run away from the side. 4-round lead for CLG at the moment. But I was going to say about the previous round, the way JDM is peaking when the team are on a force buy or on an eco, you should have a flashbang coming in to go for a peek at such close quarters there, rather than just walking around the corner and getting wrecked by Tech 9s. Either way, CLG have a 4-round lead now, and SK finally at the bottom of the barrel in terms of financials.
Yeah, and CLG, they know that that's the situation, so they're going to keep the MP9s, which is really cool because that's going to make them a lot of money. You get an extra bonus with the SMGs. And here it is, Pitta, he's looking to make that cash, make the cheddar, but the cheddar has gone off here for Pitta. He gets nothing. It's Hazed and JDM and Cutler all chiming in there to take it down the entire lineup, and Pimp will fall also. So lots of money made there by CLG as they clean up the push really easily. And they got 8 rounds on the CT side. This is looking amazing right now for CLG. This is the 3rd map, James. Will they actually win this? Will they be on TV tomorrow?
It is the 3rd and final map, Dan. 5-round lead for the time being. By no means are they over the line. AK is coming back out for the SK side now, Molotovs and such. We haven't really seen a super fast play with a full buy from SK so far. AWP onto JDM. Cutler rocking the P90. Always good to see a P90 in play. JDM's going for the deep peek. Does he have any cover from a teammate? Not really, and he will start to move back. Tarek was behind him, but he wasn't next to him. Again, a good team to look at for setups of an AWP on this map. On the CT side are Luminosity, the way Fallen chooses to play around the positions, down the toilets and connector, and the support he has from a rifler. Really important, really nice holds here. JDM getting off to a good start. Tarek maybe going for a bit of pre-fire there. You can see some shoulder peeking going on, but nothing coming to fruition for SK just yet in this round.
Yeah, and now SK is starting to realize, all right, we've got the, we've lost a man. It's time to get serious. It's time to get the plays into a bomb site. They're starting to combine their efforts in towards A. But the thing is that CLG with that man advantage, they're really favored to take this one. And they are definitely feeling the A defense here. They got JDM there. And it's definitely the site, if you're going to have a kind of a more of a stack, one player in addition to one of the 2 bomb sites, you want it to be A. You want those 3 men to be on A, as they have, because it's much harder to retake A than B. So it's going to be really tough here for SK to get in. And they are waiting a really long time here to move in. They are waiting for perhaps a peak, an aggression. It's not going to come. JDM, you know, he's going to rescope there. Easy frag for him. Pimp goes down. It's Cillian, though, with the entry frag onto JDM. That's a really big play. That's very important. And now the push can come in. But Tarek sprays down one. The trades are there. But Cutler is lurking with that P90. The damage is big. And he sets it up. And Pitta's going to dunk it with the HE. Lovely play. 9-3 now. CLG will advance even further in the lead.
Yeah, that's good for the morale of the CLG side, having a double nade coming in there. Bit of an alley-oop. Thank you and good night in that particular round. So SK's push is broken. They don't get to plant the bomb either, which is going to limit their economy. They've gone for a bit of a buy here, but they've left themselves money in the hole to have a better buy either way in the following round. But we've seen many forces won in this half already. 3 rounds to get some more forces won. Cillian's been dispatched off pretty quickly indeed, and JDM's going to run back. He'll enjoy that advantage. Takes on Mori as well as he moves into the party area. So SK getting their legs taken away from them. 2 players now, and we're 15 seconds into the round.
Yeah, this is going really well. That HE, oh, that was going to be good, but just clipping. The foliage changed. The foliage is very solid indeed. But there's only 2 players here with pistols, and they are slowly but surely going to go down. A bit disoriented as well. And there it is. Only 1 frag, and CLG, and they really have a lot of momentum, I think, you know, psychologically as well as economically. They're really doing quite well at the moment. And it's 10-3. How many rounds are they going to get here? SK have really got to be sweating at this point.
Yeah, the perspiration must be off the charts then. 2 rounds remain, and indeed, SK, they saved money in the previous round. They tried to do it with not much, but that will allow them to get a big buy-in. The AWP coming up for Freeze in this round, but again, we saw fast frags in rounds previous. Can they get Freeze into a position to make use of his AWP? We've got 2 players in long for CLG at the moment who have abandoned the toilets area, and 3 in the B bomb site. So let's see how long they stay over towards long. Often you'll see times. It can be a bit of a brittle setup for the CTs as time continues. They've got Cutler, basically. He will be the second peeker, it seems, with Tarek having a look from further back. So sometimes you might see an AWP and a rifle in this situation, but JDM is elsewhere. You can see Short B is in control of CLG as well. So SK have basically no significant map control whatsoever right now. We've seen them run down the clock when they have been in an unfavorable position. Is that what's going to happen on this round as well? Minutes on the clock and we see Freeze start to look over. He assumes the tree position is clear. Doesn't manage to get a kill onto Tarek, but he will snap Cutler before Cutler can take him down.
Yeah, that's pretty nicely done by Freeze, but I mean, as you mentioned, this is really slow from SK. Finally, they start to sprint up on towards this A bomb site, but again, just slowing it down, and we have seen that clock become an issue on multiple rounds. Freeze taking a tight angle there from A long, expecting to get peeked on, but they really need to press the issue at this point. There's 35 seconds left. They need to get in the bomb site, because if something goes wrong at this rate, they won't have the time to correct it. And JDM will start to spot the nade sailing over. He's going to delay with that Molotov, and it's going to be a shot missed for JDM there, but he'll get more chances. There's the bomb drop down. 20 seconds as JDM will retreat. He's got teammates to crossfire with as well. And the cavalry are here. 4 players standing to attention. JDM with the flick, he'll miss it, but still, Tarek's there, and he'll get the double, the triple, in fact, with that M4. And that is beautiful. 11 rounds now for CLG. When will it stop? Or will it stop? Because SK, they look crushed right now.
Yeah, it's another situation where they have no choice but to keep pushing the site because the clock is in the red by the time they are trying to figure out what's going on. Trying to trade there, but Tarek's not having any of it. 3K towards the end. Very nicely done. Last round of the first half. And we're going to see the AKs continue here for SK, but 3 rounds on the board again. This is back to old Overpass before things were figured out here. And you used to see kind of 12-3 dominant rounds from the CT side. That is not what they were expecting.
No, absolutely not. I mean, they moved into this with so much confidence. And JDM, he's to be peeking out with Pitta, and they focus on JDM, and Pitta grabs 2 easy kills. And Tarek is going to be in for a 1 versus 1. Spots the head, superior position, takes it down, and all of a sudden, SK Gaming have been laid to waste by CLG. It's just Magic's Boy left against 4 players. The bomb firmly in control of the CTs, right? At the very least, they know where it is, and it's towards them. Pitta waiting on the other side, they're smoking it off, really making Magic's Boys' time here impossible. I mean, what do you do in this position? He's the guy you want in this position for the team, but it's not going to be an easily 1-1. There's 1 frag, the transfer's not good. 12-3 first half. CLG, what is this? I did not expect this, James. They are beasting SK Gaming right now.
Yeah, they were being beaten themselves early on in this series, Dan, and now they are returning the favor when it counts in the last map. That is a 9-round lead going into the second half. And again, we see a similar situation, but on the other foot. SK have to win the pistol round, otherwise they are going to be in all the trouble. This is not a map they can afford to lose. We'll find out if they can win the pistol after the break. We'll see you soon. Right, let's see if SK can bring things back here. They have 3 rounds on the board. That is all they have at the moment, and Mori is going to have to try and drag his team back along with Magic Boy and the rest of them, because otherwise they are going to be out in the cold. Cheese, grits and chill there. Or TV. Well, up to them.
Yeah, and well, JDM has been stepping things up. You know, we saw that shaky day one from him, but and there are some missed shots here and there, but he's being solid, generally speaking. Solid enough for that 12-3, which is definitely a nice scoreline. CLG have to be just completely brimming with confidence at the moment, and here we go. They're going to start to march their way towards this A side of the map, and Hayes is going to find Freeze. He's not even looking his way, trying to get out of position there, and Tarek is going to try to finish it off, and it's going to be Hayes who finds the kill, and this train of aggression looks like it will take a stop for the time being as they get a man advantage.
And now Pimp is forced to stand on short B and try to figure out what's going on, try to get aggressive and give his team some advantage. But can he do it? He's got loads of bullets in the 5-7, but he can't get any fatal connections. 5 versus 3 now, as we see a rotation from A to B from the SK side. Mori trying to do what he can, but again, they are outnumbered. They are overwhelmed. We've got smokes coming into the site. Mori will use that to try and get close to the site, but again, he is alone. He could get traded here. Finds Cutler, takes him down. No answer, just get JDM pushing through the smoke. Mori forced to reload, goes down. Magic's Boy and Cillian coming in, down to 2 versus 2 now. All of a sudden, Tarek's going to get taken down. Surely, no, he's not going to get taken down. Magic's Boy now alone versus Peter. Peter coming in for the high ground, and Magic's Boy will have no idea where he's coming from. I don't even know how Peter got to that position, but indeed, he will be the man to get the last kill for his team, and CLG are off to a rip-roaring start.
Yeah, and what a way to do it there, Peter, with that one-shot, one kill, and well, that's not a nice statistic.
That's not
James.
good, Dan.
That's just hide your children. Hide your wives. That is disgusting, James.
It's not good. It is in fact bad.
I feel bad for Freeze.
It's very bad indeed.
But you know, redemption could be at hand here if SK Gaming are able to get an upset win in this round. I mean, they're definitely at a big disadvantage, but they've decided to go for a force buy. They've spent all their money to try and see if they can just get something out of the pistols and the Kevlar and the scout that's on the Cillian. Now CLG, they've got to play an efficient round against this kind of buy that they should expect to be in from the SK Gaming side. So they want to keep them at arm's length because those pistols are very effective close range, and they can use grenades to keep these CT players of SK Gaming at bay. And so far, they're doing well to move as a unit.
We need to see a CLG, though, who are not overly cautious, as you can fall into a trap in this situation. You know, they've got such a big lead, they can take it over the line here, they don't want to make mistakes, they might wait too long. We saw that from SK in the first half. CLG, they're moving well at the moment, but again, they need to identify where exactly the stack is. He's still pushing forward. He could lose the AK here. Indeed, he's going to use the patience, take that Magic's Boy. Support is coming as well through the side of the toilets, and the Cillian will indeed get taken down. So 5 versus 3 so far, so good for the T side. But the flashbang, Pimp being very patient with the 5-7, but he can't get a frag. He will maim, but he will not claim any lives until now. 2 go down. He sees the bomb as well. Teammates can rotate. Only 1 more left to rotate. JDM needs to win that duel. Indeed, he will. 3 versus 1 now. Where is Modi? That is a question. Modi's on the site with the Deagle. Cutler goes down. JDM could do the same. Was very tagged, but no. CLG will take it over the line.
Yeah, good damage done. And I was very worried for CLG when they decided to move into the scout, because they spotted the scout, and then they were like, okay, let's commit into that. And well, they got the frags that they needed to get, and then 14-3 is the score. A lot of support here for the home team at CLG. Let's see if they can get it over the line, though. They're against another force buy from SK, because SK, they realize right now they just need rounds. They can't afford to save. It's got to be buys all the way. And so at CLG, they just have to do more of that, and they're just going to close this game.
Again, it's another situation where CLG have to expect SK trying to channel all their aggression, what little there is in this round, over to one area. That area will not be the same as the previous round. And how will CLG find that out? They've got Cutler lurking towards B. In the previous round, he was being harassed with a Deagle and started to back off a little bit. There's no control from really either side of the short B area, and again, that's going to be crucial to allow CLG to do what they want to do, for SK to stop it, and for both teams to find out information. We've got Magic's Boy doing a bit of shoulder picking over to that area. In the meantime, CLG with 2 players over towards the long A, using the range to try and find out as much information as they can. That Molotov will force any people sneaking in the blind spot away from their position, so Tarek will know nobody's there. SK can use that information to get an idea of where CLG are, but there's not much they can do with it with 4 pistols and a scout that.
Well, that does remain to be seen. I've seen crazier things. And now CLG, you know, they have 40 seconds left in the round. It's time to go. A smoke thrown preemptively. Whoa, that is pretty scary. Monty's going to take the headshot, and they are going to be just backpedaling straight away. And that's probably quite a smart choice because there are 4 players there. And Tarek has found out that the A-bomb site is pretty much unoccupied, although Pimp will hold it down with just a scout by himself. Finds the headshot onto Tarek. And now there's 20 seconds. This is really awkward at this point. Too much indecision perhaps from CLG could cost them. JDM must get kills here. There's the first one. Pimp goes down. Freeze has the scout now. 10 seconds to plant the bomb. The bomb will have just enough time to go down. So perhaps CLG can save this round. Nicely timed nade. They're going in. That's not too much actually done onto Freeze, but looks like Freeze will get the kill nonetheless. JDM ready and waiting with the AK. What is this though? Magicsploit bursting out of the bank area. And now it's down to Pitta against 4 players. I thought CLG were going to have a good hold there, but SK Gaming, they just seem undeniable in this round. And it all goes wrong, James. And it's not just that it goes wrong. They pick up 4 AK-47s out of this. Yeah,
and again, that's the problem with not having control of short B. They had 40 seconds on the clock, and they chose to rotate the bomb all the way around to T-Spawn. They didn't really have any other choice that didn't have less risk. They lost a player, unfortunately for them. It was unlucky to lose a player who was over towards A, trying to hold things down there. They lost control of everything. It all fell apart. You can see Hayes, he seems to be quite an emotional player. They've got a 10-round lead at the moment. They are 2 rounds away from taking it over the line. You wouldn't expect them to have the issues that Liquid have recently had closing things out here, but easier said than done. They need to do it, and they are on pistols for now. So SK will be allowed to build economy. They'll be allowed to win more rounds, catch up, unless something goes horribly wrong for them as well. We've seen pistols do great damage already on this map. Will it continue now? Well, first it'll be the HEs, high explosive grenades.
And it's nice from CLG just to play it really conservatively with their buy, just not really investing anything, because when you already have 14 rounds and you've got a big lead, you want to get as many buy rounds in as possible, because those are the rounds when you have your biggest chance to win, and you don't really care too much about the economy of the other team because you don't have to string rounds together. You've already done the hard work. Just got to get those 1 or 2 rounds, and that's it. So CLG, they'll be going down in this round. They didn't really care about not doing any damage here. It's all about their buy rounds, and they're going to have a good one right now because of that save.
They just need 2 rounds. 1 round to take them to worst case scenario overtime, and then the other round to take the series and to take the television spot stat.
Oh yes, it must. It's definitely going to be a good feeling if they're able to represent on TBS, no less.
They could wear their best sock stat. Hopefully better than that chap in the crowd, because those are interesting at best. So we have an AWP onto both sides, lots of rifles as well. We've got 8 AKs, Dan. We've got 8 AKs. The CTs can't buy AKs, but we've got 8 AKs, and it's going to be AWPs getting off to a good start. But JDM will be forced from his position by the ferocious nades of the CT side. But so far, so good. An early advantage here. 1 minute 25, and SK will deploy many nades to try and slow things down. Still have 2 smokes in the hole, so B may be off limits for a while.
And usually there's kind of 2 situations you have here. Either the CTs will put 2 players to either side, but because it's so early, they want to play for information as well. So you can see them moving around there to try to do that.
Ooh,
and this is quite sneaky. You don't see this too often, actually. And this is a sick amount of information right now, because that's going to more or less tell them it's much more likely that CLG are moving towards the A-bomb site right now. That's the information that SK get from this. So that's a big deal. Although they are holding for quite a long time.
Speaking of holding for quite a long time, Dan, CLG are not moving forward very fast at the moment. Peter moving away, and they should hear that, so maybe they have a read, and indeed, we have Freeze alone in a position where he's trying to hold both sides of the A sites on his lonesome. So far, so good. He's got a smoke as well towards long. He's going to tag the second player. He's going to try and push through the smoke, but Tarek will take him down. So now we've got SK, the remaining players, out of position while the bomb goes down. No flank from the CTs either. This is not going to be easy.
This is looking good right now indeed for CLG, despite having 2 players low, and the smokes are down to make life hard here. Asilian gets the first entry onto Cutler. There's more work to be done though. Tarek, he's got a great position. He's going to spot the back of Asilian. He's waiting for the second player, and they're both lining up for Tarek. Almost a third on the spray down, but he's done serious work. That bomb is going to be ticking away incredibly quickly here. Magisboy has a hell of a job at hand as he tries to scan for these players, but they're not giving up the peaks easily. This is perfect from CLG. They are making his life impossible. He realizes he's been outplayed from this position. There's nothing he can do. It's all he can do to get out of there alive, but will he do that?
No, he's going to die.
He is
can't
dead.
save the AWP. He's done. He's donezo.
15
Match
to 5.
CLG. You can speak now, Dan.
That awkward moment. No, you. How about you?
Don't do this, Dan. Fine, I'll speak. Double orbs coming out for the CT side. They need every single round. The room for error, the margin for error is non-existent now. JDM will have the third AWP on the map. CLG with many advantages now. Look at the aggression we're seeing from the CT side. Magic's Boy moving into connector quickly. He'll have Peter to challenge him should they choose to push. Modi and Asilian, they're going to abandon the B bomb site and take over that short B area. Tarek's gone down as well, but the bomb will be collected from Hayes. But that gives information to the CTs that they see the bomb in long. That makes it likely that A was the play. But again, there's time for CLG to change their setup here. And again, they've got a very strong hold towards short B, and that is very important for SK. But they don't really have eyes through Monster at the moment. Pip's moving into position towards B as well, but Freeze will go down towards A, so Pip's going to have to rotate immediately.
That is really frustrating for Freeze, because he got the connection there and everything, and now it's going to be a bit of an information play from SK. They do have a forward man who can block the rotation from A to B in Modi, and that could prove very useful. He's also playing on the pistol in those close ranges, so Modi could be very dangerous. We'll have to see if he'll come into play in this one. And CLG try to work the advantage that they have in this 4 versus 4. Magic's Boy, though, gets the drop onto Pitta. That's a beautiful frag, and a much-needed one indeed. Modi also taking down Cutler towards B, so now SK Gaming know what's up. It's down to Hayes and JDM. A weakened JDM, and now JDM has no one to play with. It looks like SK Gaming will take this round as JDM is going to scramble away. Hopefully for his sake, to safety, but we might see maybe at least Modi going in for the kill here. He is quite close to his position as we get the save from JDM. So SK trying to hang on here, but it's just one more round. And here it is, JDM with a very good position, and boom, there it is, Modi denied. And there's no one else near JDM. He's safe. He's done it. He has survived.
He has survived for now, but the money situation hasn't survived for the T side at the moment, so CLG have a decision to make. They've got a 9-round lead at present, so they can try and buy around this gun, or just try and spend a little bit that will give them enough money to buy in the rounds to come. Their loss bonus has been reset to a measly 1,400, so they may be playing poor for a while. And indeed, it will be just pistols around this AWP, so what can JDM do with it? Can he be the can opener to bring the worms to SK?
Here it is. Pimp going in for the aggression down in connector. Beautiful entry for SK Gaming. And, well, JDM is still alive, and he's the kind of power player in this round for CLG, of course, the only guy really with anything to speak of. And he's going to look for the entries there. Very nicely timed pop flash. And there it is. JDM going to push past the smokes and the flashbangs, and he is not going to connect his shot. And so that's really annoying for CLG because they don't have an opening. How do they get in? This can is industrial strength, James. And JDM cannot break it.
Still has opportunity available, and if he goes down, Tarek can pick it up, but with no Kevlar on Tarek, that would be considerably difficult, although the round is all together. JDM doing what he can, but you can see SK now, they're playing deep, and this is probably a good idea, using the range, trying to avoid these pistols, not giving JDM any opportunities. We saw some mistakes earlier where, 2v1 situations, 1v1s were given, but they're not going to serve themselves to the plate of JDM. They're going to force them to play on their terms and come into their territory, and the time is running out to do so. And they have no flashes either. 2 smokes and a Molotov to try and at least get the bomb down. Tarek looking away just in case a flashbang was to come in, but he's only got a Glock to try and mount a defense with. So they're going to use the smoke as a fake there and charge onto the site. Can they get the bomb down though? Tarek closing the distance, but everybody's getting cut down apart from JDM. He's got 12 seconds to do as much damage as humanly possible. Only one person's been taken down as well. And indeed, he still has his armor intact, and he will go for a bit of a run, bit of a jog. Tried to hold on to his weapon, but he'll get no loss bonus, so he needs to hold on. He can't go down now. The time has run out because he'll be left with a measly $350 and no weapon.
But he survived, so that round kind of ended exactly almost as the previous one had. But now, again, his team are still so poor. It's really an annoying situation, and This is kind of awkward because JDM saved that AWP in that spot where his team had to double eco to buy anything. It's just so weird, isn't it? Because if he dies this round, his team can buy it, but all of a sudden he can't really buy it. So it's a little bit annoying.
Yeah, I think if they all go down, I think Peter will probably drop him an AWP and take the L, hold the L, being the player with the least time in the game as of late.
We have some peaks amongst the foliage. The boost coming in from Tarek down 7 HP, but standing on Peter's head for a moment. And it's going to be Modi taking down a player in the connector area. It's going to be delivering the goods here, and this is a problem right now. JDM will die. Freeze is taking lives here. Hayes and Tarek dying. Modi able to take down a couple more with the Tech 9 rather, and that is a clean round on the board for SK Gaming, but it's still a very long road for them to run. And CLG finally have a big buy, but this is the situation we're talking about. As you said, are we going to see that AWP drop to JDM?
Yeah,
surely we will.
They couldn't really actually afford the AWP. Say for Hayes, who had 5,600 in the bank, but then he couldn't afford a helmet. So they're going to try and weather that storm, and JDM will pick up his trusty scouts, which he will be comfortable with. But we'll see if he can make an impact with it. 7 rounds away now are SK from catching up to CLG. Again, CLG can fail and fail and fail again. They require 1 round to take the entire series here, so no there's tons of pressure here for SK, tons and tons of pressure, and could be an early flank coming in from Pimp, but surely he'll get traded with the AWP. JDM goes down and he will get out of there. Freeze will fall, but not before Cutler does, so man advantage for the CTs, but the Ts have charged onto the site. But the problem is for the Ts now that Magic's Boy is in a position to flank while the rest of his team come in from the stairs.
Still a good setup here. We've got the nades down to block off the choke points as CLG look to claim victory with this round. 3 versus 4. Bomb ticking away. Pitta in a very good position to deal with the flanking player, and he's going to pick up that kill. That's such an important one. Pitta delivering the goods in that situation, but he's got to have his teammates do the same. And oh no, Pimp and Modi, they'll take down both defenders on the site. Pitta coming in. There's one. He needs 2 more. He goes for the reload. It's not the time for that. Asilian will take the frag, and the round will be won by SK. A close one, but they'll hold on to both AWPs. And SK will keep climbing back.
I think he went to pull out a grenade.
He went to pull out something, James.
Unless it was an accident, but either way, his gun was going away then. It was disappearing
exactly
in front of our eyes. 6-round lead for CLG. SK, how many rounds have they got in a row? 4 rounds so far, 2 by timeout no less, so it's been a struggle for CLG. They will be going for the half buy once again. Their loss bonus is approaching maximum, which is about 3,400 each round, which means their next buy should be a large one. How much damage can they do? It seems we're going to have a fast running execute into the B bomb site. Pimp with 1 frag so far, playing close with the AWP now. Not a good idea. He's going to get taken down. Counter splash is coming in from the CT, so bombs down on the floor. Cutler and JDM to try and rescue it, and now it's JDM alone. Maybe he can pick up the AWP that Pimp dropped. Maybe it's flown away. We've seen nades flying all over the place. He's looking for any guns, but he needs to be scared of the pushes as well, and the pushes will indeed come in. A fast round in favor of SK. 5 rounds away now from tying things up, from taking it to overtime.
15 to 10 indeed. It's going to be pretty tough for SK Gaming, but they are climbing and climbing and climbing. Every round has been pretty close when CLG have had a bye actually. So it's constantly quite scary, and as you said, that pressure really is on for both teams at this point, because now CLG are starting to wonder, okay guys, we kind of need to win now. Starting to get a little bit too close for comfort.
Indeed, the shadow of Team Liquid's recent choking will loom large over the American audience as they see SK continue to close the gap between themselves and CLG. Peter going to be limited in his push. That smoke must have been affected by the Molotov, because that is an extremely weird place for it to land. I assume it was meant to go into the tunnel. Either way, the Ts will creep into short B, and again, we've mentioned how important this position is, and for CLG to take it so early, it could cause loads of problems for SK. That said, SK still have 4 smokes in the bag at the moment. They've got tons of smokes, tons of ways to slow things down here, but they don't have vision of the short B area. Hayes has been taken down elsewhere, but SK don't know how close CLG are to the B bomb sites.
And Pimp's there with an AWP. His teammates have to be on point to support him in this close range position. because CLG are coming. It's just a matter of when. And he's going to go for the... Oh my god, that is so nice from Pimp. That peak was so fast. Pitta has no idea what just hit him. And Asilian has a nice off angle here as well towards Monster. And just before CLG wanted to move in with the 4 players, we have Pimp with that aggressive frag. But it does not seem to matter. JDM and Cutler will strike back into this B-bomb site to try to take control. But in comes Magic's boy. So SK Gaming know what's up, and they are bringing everyone to try to stop this right now. CLG with only 2, a man disadvantage.
Cutler and Muddy, they're back to each other. Cutler turns around first, and it's going to be put into a 2 versus 2. 20 seconds, so CLG have got to get the bomb down.
There it is, that bomb is starting to tick. And is there cover? There's no cover. Cutler was just behind cover at that point, and that is going to be a problem because there's 10 seconds. And the smoke is down. What does he do? Freeze takes him out, and that's 11 rounds now for SK Gaming. Another one that was incredibly close. CLG, this has to be frustrating at this point for them, as they feel like they should be winning these rounds, and they only need 1.
Back on the buy, straight back on the buy will the CLG team be. But we are seeing repeated failures now, 6 rounds in a row, and the timeout is coming in. One would presume it's a tactical one. One would presume it's here to try and break the momentum of the SK side. And again, indeed, confirmed timeout from CLG, and you have to wonder about the psyche of CLG as SK continues to climb. They need 1 round. They fail time and time and time again. All they're going to do, Dan, is experience failure until they succeed. But that's a problem. We see Hayes, he's an emotional player. We've seen it at the beginning of these maps, let alone towards the end here.
Yeah, and they need to definitely rally themselves from a morale perspective and get everybody on the same page here, because it can feel demoralizing, but they still need to walk into this feeling as though they're going to win it and have that same level of confidence, because SK Gaming, they're super focused, they're taking it round for round, and SK Gaming are playing as they should be playing.
Look at this. This happened for the longest time, actually. It only shows you the end of it, but Cutler and Muddy, Cutler went through the smoke there, had no idea Muddy was behind him, and they were both standing there facing opposite directions for maybe 10 seconds. It was poetic for a time, but it ended in brutal violence, Dan. In brutal violence. And that's what CLG are looking for. They need 1 round of brutal violence to take themselves over the line into tomorrow's final, but they are yet to find it. SK with 6 rounds in a row, Dan. 6!
And CLG, they do have the max loss bonus, which is $3,400, and with a plant in a round, they'll get $4,200 with the 800 in addition for each player. So they are going to have likely at least 3 more buy rounds, I should suspect, before it's overtime. And so I mean, CLG have a lot of chances to win, and they have not been without those. So they just have to play it round for round and just be focused. I mean, this can be demoralizing, but this is where experience really comes into play. And that's something definitely that's going to be helping SK Gaming, because they have some actually really experienced players. If you look to people like Modi, Pimp, and Freeze, these 3 players in particular have been around for a long time, and they've been in positions like this time and time again.
Speaking of time, the time is starting to tick down in the buy part of this round. It is time for CLG to take it over the line. Or is it time for SK to deny them once again? We will soon find out. You see the limitations in the buy now coming in from CLG. JDM with no armor. JDM's got no helmet, sorry. And Pitta's got no armor whatsoever. So CLG have pretty much gone for the force here. They could have saved and gone for the big buy in the following round, but no. They want to keep up the pressure as much as possible. Going for a fast play towards B, perhaps, but players have been spotted, and we're seeing SK, they're moving away from long, they're moving closer to the A site. They want to be in position to rotate towards B, should they need to soon. Boosts coming in, and you can see the pillar to Modi's right will block him from the angles that JDM is trying to look at here, trying to get an opening for a side, and he will wonder what is going on. And the good thing for CLG is they have players towards the fountain area, so they know that they're not being flanked at the moment.
Yeah, this is really actually very smart from SK Gaming, because they got the boost here. They're actually playing really conservatively, because as CLG made it look like they were going to rush into B, and some teams would try to rush players into B to kind of get them there on the defense preemptively, but SK Gaming are keeping themselves safe from a flank here, and they're also keeping themselves safe from getting picked from any boosts, which we saw that's exactly what CLG were trying to do. So SK Gaming have effectively played against what CLG were trying to do mind game-wise. So that's a really cool battle of minds we're seeing there. And again, also SK are showing that they are comfortable retaking B if necessary, as opposed to, and they're happy to just let it go.
So CLG having a read that something's up with the B-bomb site, and they can't quite figure out what, with nobody being over towards barrels, nobody visible from a boost, and it seems they're going to play for the A position, since things might make more sense over there. We've got the wall of smokes coming in, so Freeze is going to be rendered almost useless, but there's a gap down. There is a gap. Pimp, Freeze, Magic's Boy coming in for 3 frags here. No answer from CLG just yet, and they're panicking. They're running away. There's 8 seconds left on the clock. They played the clock slow, and it's not going to work out for them.
Yeah, and this is the issue, definitely, that they don't leave themselves with an alternative plan, essentially. And it was very smart, again, of SK Gaming, the way that they played that round. They're forcing CLG to throw a set piece in, and they're happy, seemingly, to just play against these smokes. They're happy to retake B, and it worked. And that's a really great sign for SK Gaming, because they know that they can go back to that play if they need to.
And now, because they ran away and they lost by timeout again, the money is all over the place on the T side. If they lose this round and they get wiped out, then the money is going to be super weird in the following round. But we will see if they get there, or if they can take it over the line with these 2 weapons they have. They've got Tech 9s and full armor around it. Now we see a normal round from SK, 2 people over towards long. And again, we've got CLG moving fast towards the toilet area, which doesn't have anyone in position. Freeze, though, off to a good start once again, having some consistency, taking down Hayes. There goes Pitter as well. We've got players jumping onto the site. The flashbang could save him, but it won't. Tarek picks up the AWP, can't do anything else with it. Pimp to hold things down. 4 versus 2 now. JDM looks to eat anybody coming in his direction, but he'll get taken down by Magic's Boy. Another clean round. How many rounds can SK win here? How far can they go?
8 in a row so far. 8 in a row, and it's been 10 for them in this half. This is getting kind of scary at this point. Really, really brilliant defense there. You can see Freeze was not cracking under the pressure, got the 2 frags he needed to get.
Look at the money. Well, you will shortly see the buy on CLG. Things did get weird, and indeed we see Gilos coming out. We see a distinct lack of grenades on multiple players. Teams like Dignitas are really good at using the grenades to have moving executes onto the B-bomb site, for example. Not something we're seeing from CLG at the moment. Not something that may even be possible on this occasion. That said, they're going to move through the smoke with numbers. Pitter down to 5 HP though. The HE, he's moved out of position just in time, and Tarek's charging onto the site, but he's going to get taken down in isolation. CLG maimed here, taking risks, trying to do something desperate in these final rounds, but still they have no way in. Now they are in a really horrible position. Pitter on less than 10 HP, only 4 players to the 5 of SK. Not much damage done either. Still loads of nades for SK as well. And they're coming back with that familiar boost. They've covered themselves with the pillar. So what can CLG do about this? How can they identify what's going on? They're going to creep through Monster. No nades in that near position. Spot Modi, but Modi will shut down Hazed, and now the CTs will rotate.
So the bomb can potentially go down here, but it's a little bit out of position. You don't really want JDM to be the guy planting the bomb. You want him to be covering, but he will be planting, and Pitter is going to land the shot he needs to, but JDM goes down swiftly after planting that bomb. He was out of position with that AWP, and now SK Gaming are going to start to snap into play, and there's just too many players from too many angles, and another defuse comes in, another round won by SK, and only one more chance for CLG. They did get the bomb down, so that is $4,200 for them to help have a good buy here. So the buy won't be the issue, but the issue is that they can't seem to find a way to win a round, and that round did seem quite desperate from multiple points.
SK have won 11 of 12 rounds. One more round for both sides. We have a buy for CLG. We don't have the AWP onto JDM. Freeze seems to be on fire with the AWP. Pimp is showing up as well. So we've got problems here for CLG. What is their play going to be? This is their last play in normal time. Their last chance to shut things down here.
Yeah, SK, they've come a long way, and the double offs is going to continue here. And Pitter, we can see moving forwards now, claiming Suez control. And they may feel like the B play is just the one. They just have to hit those shots on the entry. And you can see Modi trying to take very scary. Oh, this is so sneaky. This off angle, and they're not going to expect this. Just sliding down. Oh, what is this? Gets both players with the M4 spray, and now it's down to a 3 versus 3. But CLG do have the bomb site, and Freeze, he can't get a clean shot here. There's no visibility in the smoke. He's trying to get a shot through the smoke, but Pitter will get the bomb planted. There is a chance here for CLG.
There's a good chance. Retaking with 2 AWPs on 3 plays is going to be very difficult indeed. Magic's Boy coming out of the door, making sure nobody's in a blind spot. Speaking of blind spots, though, Hayes coming in, delivering when he needs to. Have CLG been waiting for the last round to do things here? Tarek gets taken down, though. 2 versus 2. The clock continues to tick here. 2 AWPs versus 2 AKs. Oh, they're going to block the smoke as well. Down goes Pip. It's down to Freeze versus 2. He's not going to be able to do it. All the way down to the last round, and CLG will make it through to tomorrow.
That is a massive result for CLG there. SK are going to feel incredibly deflated after that one. What a comeback, and I can't imagine how CLG would have felt if they lost that, but they pulled it through, they closed it right at the end. CLG will be making it through to TBS tomorrow.
That is, apart from CLG losing, that is the other worst way to lose. Bringing it back so many rounds in a row when you can't make any more errors, only to lose it in the very last round. And CLG will make their way over to shake hands with the other team. That is a brutal, that is a psychological battle there for both teams. CLG making it sure that they don't choke there. I mean, that would have been an absolute nightmare for the American audience, considering the history we've had, the recent history we've had of Liquid, where they've had that 14 rounds and they just haven't taken it over the line. But CLG managed to do so, and they will be facing Astralis tomorrow. Before we head to Richard and the desk, we will be going to a short break, and they will break down that map. We will see you back here soon.
So many emotions today. You can see the highs and lows on your screen. Astralis very high when they won the first semi-final. SK Gaming looked to be cruising against CLG. Insane turnaround by them. They were powered by the crowd, and they've done it. It looked like they were going to fall at the last hurdle, but Counterlogic Gaming have held their nerve and made it through to the televised finals on TBS tomorrow.
Never
As
worried.
an American, you
Never
must
worried.
be very proud.
Yeah,
Moses.
easiest prediction of my life. Never.
Look at this
once
smug
doubted
look
it.
on his face.
Yeah, no, it's so proud. Is
He's
it
so proud.
Is it proud or is it smugness? I don't know.
This
Well,
was
you know,
exactly
they
what
subbed me in
happened.
that second map. Got him to overpass.
But what a map. It was unbelievable. And I guess we'll have to start with, this caused a lot of contention. We are going to now present our Blazing Hot player in the match, as presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. We argued and argued. In the end, we've given it to JDM. Purely on the impact frags. I think, hugely disappointed for Magic's boy, who across the series again was in that 20 zone. He was in that sweet
That's what's
spot.
sad about the whole thing, that some Magic's boy who's been the best player out of every team that's been here this week now does not make it on television. I
know, it's criminal. But it's got to be said, while JDM was non-existent on the first map, you can see that there. He turns up in a big way on Cobble, and on Overpass, especially in that first half, he's an absolute monster.
Yeah, I mean, just these last two maps when they're down 1-0, looking at just getting eliminated, he steps up huge. We knew he was going to be the player they had to depend upon, and he did it.
And that means that the Lounger will be coming into People's Lounges on Friday.
I'm actually leaving.
Okay, bye. Well,
Before
before you do, let's have an interview from the man we criticized, but he also turned up. It's Cutler with Rachel.
Thanks so much, Richard. I got to talk to you first and foremost, before anything else, about that last map. What was going through your mind there when you were losing round after round after round?
Well, every time we play Overpass against them, I think every CT side we win 12-3, and it's always close. I mean, it's happened in the major qualifier and twice here.
Well, we definitely heard the crowd right at the end. They started the CLG chant, and it seemed like mysteriously you guys pulled out ahead. So what does the support of your fans mean to you, and how does that affect your play?
I mean, it means everything for the fans and the love they give us. It's kind of hard to hear them when they're cheering, but if there's no one talking, you definitely can hear them.
Well, I also want to know, your performance, Cutler, has been a little bit up and down. We've listened to our analysts kind of talk about you in a lot of different ways. So I want to give you your chance to say your piece about your play and how you feel you've been performing here at ELEAGUE.
I'm definitely playing inconsistently. I mean, there's some maps I'm really good at, and other maps I'm still kind of learning. I'm playing kind of like the lurker role, so something I haven't really played at all in my career. So like this year with PETA coaching, it's kind of a new role for me.
And how is it having PETA playing with the team on the bench? You guys are going to be playing with him, you announced, all the way till the major, so you must like it.
Yeah, I mean, playing with the in-game leader while playing, I feel like it gives the calls better because you can feel the game. It's a little different when you're standing behind someone.
Well, tomorrow you go on TV to face off against Australis. How do you guys feel about that?
It's definitely a team we want to beat. I think we haven't beat them once ever on land, so it'd be good to beat them on TV.
All right, we'll see how that all plays out tomorrow. I'm going to give it back to the desk.
Nice one, Cutler. I like that guy. He's a man of few words, but what he's got to say resonates. We'd like to beat Australis on
Looks
TV.
great. Like his style.
Yeah, I do like his style.
Was that Cutler or
bringing it back for ball guys like the world over? So, but no, I mean, look, wonderful of him to acknowledge that, yeah, I have been a little bit inconsistent. I wasn't aware he was moving more into that lurker role. It can be difficult to pick up, especially late in your career.
Well, it's also difficult to pick up when they're playing with a stand-in, a guy they haven't practiced with probably in some time. So I mean that automatically makes things shuffle around a little bit. But yeah, that's the big thing is we talked all week. The Stars, JDM and Tarek needed to show up, and all they needed was for Cutler or Hayes or anyone to show up on map 1 or map 2 and carry him through. And that's exactly what happened. Cutler shows up on Cobble, gets him to Overpass, and then everything is as it should be.
Well, let's take a look at the highlights and lowlights of the game. Here's something I want to talk about, right? Because we're going to talk about CLG loads and tomorrow, of course. But I just want to talk about Pimp, right? This guy's heart is unbelievable.
That's a little awkward, yeah.
This guy's heart is unbelievable.
Yeah.
When the team was on tilt and they had that 12-3 half again, it was really Pimp for me that got them going. He had some very impactful kills. Might not have been the most explosive,
I agree.
might not have been the most flashy, but this guy pulled out round after round after round and just got them snowballing.
He picked up the op. He decided, you know what, let me lead by example. He started getting those crucial op kills, caused them to get a 2-op setup, and honestly, he was one of the main reasons why they started to make that comeback.
Yeah, and just, we've talked about this before. Thorin, who obviously will be joining us on the desk at some point, he wrote an article about him talking about this kind of phenomenon and how he is a guy who just digs deep. And yeah.
I want to talk about, look at this play right here. You see SK with this triple boost at 14-5. This is so aggressive by them. They're in a 4-on-5 and they're demoting 3 players in one area of the map to one part. I think this was a big mistake. This is what got CLG onto 15 so early on. And when you have 3 players here for this long, Freeze is all alone in that A bomb site. He gets overwhelmed. No matter how well he trades, you're still rotating into a
It's
disadvantage.
not worth it for the info that's gained. There's not really that much info gained there.
And let's talk about Freeze as well. So he had 22 on Train. I don't think he finished on 22 across the next 2 maps. And it took him until round 18. That was the first time he actually lived through an entire round on Overpass.
Yeah, they got beat up. They got punched in the face really early on by CLG. They recovered eventually, but actually it was the switch from Pimp into an AWP, which we talked about that he's done in the past, and we hated it because it takes the rifle out of his hand. But actually that switch into Pimp with the op and Freeze, the double op setup on Overpass, I mean, that almost threw a wrench into CLG.
Unfortunately, they found it a little bit too late, but I'm sure that they're happy with how they were able to make that comeback, but to lose the exact same way twice in a row on the same map, that's insane to me, because that's exactly what happened. 12-3 first half, and then on the verge of winning.
Comeback, and then lose again.
That's like heartbreaking.
Oh, I think Bardolph put it best. The only thing the second most heartbreaking thing you can happen than losing that if you're CLG is the comeback to 14-15 and losing on that last round from 14-3 to 15-14, and then you just lose it there.
Yeah, real heartbreaking for SK, and of course they will be kicking themselves. They're never going to have a better opportunity to beat CLG when the stakes kind of this high. They've got a stand-in as well. Let's not forget that. That CLG
that's what makes it super impressive on CLG's part. That the fact that they were able to do all this with their coach is just very. To me, it's if they're looking for a new fifth, I think a fifth will have a great time joining this team because he sees how strong they are, even with the coach standing in.
So confirmation on your screens at home now. You can see how the semifinals went. Astralis with a 2-0 over NRG, but it was perhaps a lot closer than that 2-0 suggests. SK Gaming versus CLG in the Epic Series. The North American team held their nerve, and that sets up the opportunity for them to play Astralis tomorrow on our televised finals on TBS, 10 p.m. Eastern. Don't worry if you can't get TBS. We obviously want you to watch it on TBS, but if you can't get it, you can watch it on Twitch. We will make the Observer feed available, and you will be able to hear James Bardolph and DDK's lovely voice. Just not us, though. You won't be able to see our lovely face.
Which is
a shame.
Which is what you want to see.
Yeah. So
Just the main draw of the show.
Final thoughts of the day, and then we'll go get some much-needed rest. It's been an amazing day of Counter-Strike. Lots of emotions, as we saw coming in. What stood out for you?
If I'm Astralis, I'm still a little bit worried because Astralis' performance wasn't as strong as we thought they would be coming out. And CLG also, like the fact that they're able to grind out rounds when they're down and rounds when the momentum's completely gone shows me that they have a lot, like they can dig deep when needed. So I would be worried if I was Astralis right now. Just a little bit, though.
Yeah, definitely taken away that Astralis doesn't seem quite comfortable yet with this roster change with KRB coming in. I'm sure they'll look better tomorrow. When you have a new roster change, you progress over time. CLG also still not convincing. We've talked a lot about having David versus Goliath matchups. I think this is just another one that we're going to have on this Friday night.
All right then, guys. Thanks a lot for your thoughts. And look, I'm looking in your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Let's do it. Let's get some rest. Make sure you join us tomorrow for the televised finals of Week 3. It's going to be Astralis versus CLG on TBS, 10 p.m. Eastern. We will see you tomorrow.